morning, everybody. It is Monday morning, and I just made me a big old giant cup of coffee. It's very magical, French vanilla. I also just got a shower, which makes this even more magical. But I'm probably not going to be doing many author tips today. This YouTube video is kind of going to be, I guess, just a little vlog. Every now and again, you gotta do a vlog. Oh, that's really good. And I gotta clean this apartment. It's a wreck where I was gone most of the weekend. Excuse me. And you know, I might actually go through some of my old stuff later, and I might read you guys maybe one of the things that I wrote a long time ago, maybe two things, because just to show you where I used to be and kind of where I am now. But I just figured I'd say good morning to everybody. I'm going to clean this apartment, and then I will get back on here and make the video with a little more information, and then I'm going to post it. So I will see you guys in a little bit. Well, I found one of my old short stories, I guess from my freshman year of high school, roughly, is what I'm guessing, and it's called Road Trip. And the basic concept of this story is there's these four characters, Ben, Carl, Jennifer, and Emily. Ben and Emily are together, and Jennifer and Carl are together. They're taking a road trip through Kansas to Missouri to go see Jennifer's cousin, Oscar. I don't know why I didn't put that in this short story. But I'm just giving you the rough beginning of it. It's not that long, but I'm just giving you the rough beginning. That way I don't have to read it word for word. But as they're driving, all the characters, you know, they go to sleep. Ben is driving. Apparently he's been driving since midnight, and it's about 4 p.m. That following day, so you know he's freakishly tired. I don't know why no one else has taken the wheel since then, but I guess he has trust issues with other people's driving. And apparently he starts to doze off and fall asleep, and then all of a sudden a big thud happens and it wakes them all up. Ben's swerving like crazy. And then he finally comes to a halt, and they all get outside the van, and the tire's busted. So Ben tells Carl to go get the spare tire. Apparently Ben didn't screw the tire holder on tight enough because it is wide open and the tire is gone. Oh my gosh. So as they're trying to figure out what to do, apparently they didn't have cell phones either. I don't know why. But a semi-truck comes through. His name's Cletus. He's a very country man. He makes a weird joke about not having an uncle, and he killed him, but his uncle never really existed. I don't know. I guess I thought it was going to be funny, but it really wasn't. Haha. And so they hitch a ride with him. They load their stuff up in the semi, and they go about 2 hours down the road, and they get up to a gas station where they're going to try and use a payphone. So apparently this was early 2000s, because payphones haven't really existed since like 2001 or 2. But apparently there's a payphone. And it doesn't work. Gas station's closed, and it's 6 p.m., which is weird. I guess I thought it'd be good for the story if the gas station was closed, but yeah, it's closed at 6 p.m. And unfortunately, Cletus drives off, and all their stuff is still in the truck, which, you know, kind of makes it worse on them. And it's pouring down rain. It's first day of spring. You know, they're getting cold, so they start to walk down the road, and they come up to this big old gate that's around this building. They start banging on it, saying, "Let me in. We're cold. We need to warm up." And all of a sudden, the gate opens, and they walk in, and you know, these people in white jumpsuits. Well, not jumpsuits, white scrubs, that's a better word. Hand them blankets, stuff like that. And then they finally realize that they actually walked into a mental institution. Well, that's the gist of the beginning, so I'm going to start right here with this one. I'm going to go with Ben lay. See, like I said, this was a while back before my writing etiquette kicked in. Ben laid the covers down and started walking down the hall. He looked around and saw a lot of white doors with bars and around the windows. Where am I? He thought to himself. He walked up to the phone and picked it up, but it was dead. Apparently, every phone in this nice little community is dead. Ben started walking back, and Carl stopped him and said, "Dude, do you know where we are?" Ben said, "No." Carl replied, "Oaksville Institution." A crazy house, Ben asked. Yeah, this is messed up, Carl told Ben. Jennifer stood up to the man and asked, can we stay here until the storm is gone? Yeah, y'all can stay in the waiting room till it clears, he replied. Though they waited patiently for the storm to die down, but it was getting worse. Then in a sudden moment, the power was knocked out. Oh. They all huddled together in total darkness. A man ran into the waiting room and said, y'all come with me quietly. They all stood up in confusion. Why? Ben asked the man. Well, since the electricity is out, all the patient doors are unlocked, he replied. That's a horrible security system. Wow, I would not go into this institution. Oh, you can call me Mark, the dude replied. Okay, I'm Ben. That's Emily, Carl, and Jennifer, Ben greeted. They all walked together down the dark hallway. Hey, wait up, another man yelled. Where did you go? Mark asked the man. I was up on the 3rd floor when the lights went out. Then I hurried down the stairs and saw that rooms 105 through 120 were empty. The man answered. Oh no, Mark said. What? Ben asked. Nothing. Oh, this is Zed. Apparently, I must have liked the name Zed because, my first novel is called Zed's Rising, so apparently Zed was just a very popular name to me. Oh, nothing. Oh, this is Zed, Mark replied in a hurry to change the subject. Hi, I'm Ben, Emily, Jennifer, and Carl. Ben greeted once more. And it actually says Ben greeted once more. Hello, Zed greeted. We need to get moving quickly, Mark told everyone. They all headed further down the hallway. Zed, what's going on? Ben asked. The patient's doors on the 2nd floor were all open, so we have to get to safety before they get us. Zed replied, like I said, this is one shitty security system for patients and psychopaths. Wow. Come on, get moving, Mark yelled. But yet they're supposed to be quiet. Like I said, the story has potential, but, it's just poorly written. And this is one of my first short stories, so it's kind of funny. So Ben and Zed caught up with the rest of them. They were still running when they made a sudden stop. There was a long moan at the end of the hallway. Zed shined the flashlight toward the sound and saw a patient. Hey, Brian, Zed greeted. Brian waved with short, fast sways. Don't worry, Brian isn't going to harm you, Zed said. Zed walked to Brian and said, take care of yourself, okay? Okay, Brian said in a little childish voice. Well, apparently, oh yeah, okay, I remember this character. Yeah, he's actually pretty cool. Zed started running. As Ben and the rest of them passed Brian, they greeted him, and he waved back as they passed him. Okay. They turned the corner and heard a noise. Mark raised his flashlight. It died before he could shine it down the hallway. Everything is failing on them. Wow. Zed, do you have a flashlight? Mark asked. The batteries just died, Zed replied. All their freaking flashlights are dead. Ben, I'm scared, Emily said, shaking. Don't worry, I won't let nothing happen to you, okay? Ben said while kissing her forehead. Wait here, I'll be right back, Mark told the others. Mark slowly started walking a bit further when all of a sudden he stopped. Zed ran up to Mark and asked, what is it? Do you hear that? Mark whispered. Hear what? Zed asked. Exactly, Mark answered. Wait here. Mark took slow steps toward the end of the hallway. He disappeared into the darkness. A few moments later, Mark appeared again in the hallway and said, the coast is... Then he was grabbed and pulled into the darkness. They heard an echo of Mark's screams and started running. There is a closet down this hallway. Hurry, Zed yelled. Zed ran faster toward the closet door. He found it and yelled, in here, hurry! Hurry, get in the door! He didn't really yell all that. Zed looked out the door and said, I don't know if the coast is clear, but let's go. So quickly to get out of there, even though they just started hiding. They all started running down the hallway, not knowing what they would get into. They turned another corner and stopped when they heard more moaning. Okay, now, everyone be quiet and start going the other way, Zed whispered. Moaning. It literally says moaning. They started hearing fast footsteps coming toward them. Run! Zed yelled. They started running. Run, hurry! Zed yelled. Zed yelled. They started running faster. They turned another corner when Zed shined the flashlight to the wall. I thought the flashlight was dead. Uh-oh. Mess up. Another closet. Hurry, get in, Zed yelled. And they're going to go into every closet in the building. Well, they all ran inside. Okay, I'm just going to kind of do a quick summary. They all ran inside, slammed the door. Zed asked everyone here. Carl replied, yeah, they're here. What side of the building have we ran into? Jennifer asked. I don't know, let me think. Zed replied. Zed shined the flashlight. Like I said, I thought the flashlight was dead, but who knows? Maybe he found some batteries in one of them closets, and I just didn't put it in there. Zed shined the flashlight around the closet, but didn't find any evidence of where they were. Wait a minute, if we ran back and turned enough corners, we should be in the main hallway again, Zed told him. How far are we from the front door from here, Ben asked Zed. A couple of feet, Zed replied. Excuse me. Hi, do you have a key? We can just escape through there, Ben said. We can try, but the last time the power went out, the front door was locked down. So the front door was locked down, but none of the patient doors became locked down. Yeah, pretty shitty, crazy house right here. When do you think the power will come back on, Jennifer asked. I'm not sure, Zed said. Okay, and alright, here we go. Brian actually comes back in. Okay, everyone, run as fast as you can to the front door. Everyone stay together no matter what. Don't look back, Zed said. Okay, Brian, follow us, alright, Emily asked. So apparently, they had seen Brian in the hallway. I didn't really put him on when he showed up, but apparently he's back. Brian nodded his head in agreement. Zed slowly opened the closet door. He looked around and saw nothing but total black. Zed stepped out and said, okay, run to the door now. Everyone took off running in the dark. They ran straight down the hallway when Zed fell to the floor. They all stopped and looked around for Zed. In a sudden moment, a patient appeared out of the dark and started running toward them. He jumped straight toward Emily. Ben stepped in front of Emily to protect her, but the patient reached Ben and Emily. Oh, but before the patient reached Ben and Emily. Ah, okay. Brian leaped toward the patient and tackled him. Brian and the patient flew across the hall and hit the wall. There's a nice little rhyme for you. Brian got up before the patient could and raised him in the air. He brought him down to his knee and break his back. I didn't say broke, I said break his back. Ow, to break his back. Huh. Jennifer ran to help Zed up, but another person tackled her. Carl ran up to them and kicked the person off of Jennifer. The patient jumped up and pushed Carl down to the floor. Ben ran and jumped onto the patient and started punching him in the face. Emily saw Ben and ran up to him and dragged him off of the dead and beaten patient. So apparently he killed him. They all stood up but couldn't see Zed because the moonlight was gone. Why would there be moonlight considering it was raining and probably cloudy? I don't know. I'm already 11 minutes in. They all looked at what tripped Zed. They saw it was Mark holding on to him for dear life. Oh, Mark's back! In a raspy voice, Mark said, help me! Help me! While Zed was trying to free himself, Emily said in fear, Zed! This is Z-Z-Zed. Zed saw Emily pointing down the end of the hall. Zed turned around and saw a mob of patients at the far wall. Ben, Zed whispered. Ben looked at Zed. Take the keys and get out of here, Zed said. What about you, Ben asked? Don't worry about me. Just get out of here, Zed said. Ben nodded his head. Zed threw his arm up as the keys left his hand. At that moment, the mob started running toward them. They started running toward the end of the hallway as Zed was left behind. Emily noticed that Brian was not following them. Emily ran back and yelled, Brian, come on! Brian shook his head and took off running towards Zed. As Brian was running towards Zed, Emily and Jennifer screamed to Ben and Carl, go get them! Come on, Carl, let's go get them, Ben yelled. Ben gave the key to Emily and Jennifer, and they ran to the door while Carl and Ben turned around and ran to Brian and Zed. As they ran to Brian, they saw him fighting the mob off of Zed. Ben looked at Carl and said, I'm going to get Brian. When I push him to you, grab him and run. Okay, Carl replied as he understood what he was supposed to do. Obvious. Then, as Brian is screaming and fighting, Carl drags him out the door and to find Emily and Jennifer screaming in tears. Where is Ben? Emily asked frantically. He's inside. I'm going back to get him, Carl told Emily, and he gave Brian to her. Hurriedly, he ran back inside to help Ben escape. Carl tried to grab Ben, who was trying to fight off the psychopathic mob off of Zed. Come on, Ben. I'm not losing another friend in this crazy place. I don't know what friend he lost in the first place, but I don't know. Ben and Carl heard a yell down the end of the hallway toward the door. Carl turned around and saw it was Brian. Apparently Brian has come back. Brian ran fast down the hallway. He leaped toward the mob. Only got 1/2 pages. He leaped toward the mob while pushing Ben and Carl out of the way. Brian rose up and started fighting the crowd. Ben ran to Zed and kicked Mark off of him. Ben pulled Zed. Poor Mark. Ben pulled Zed away from Mark as Carl kicked him off of Zed. Ben kneels to Zed and said, you're going to be okay. I'm going to get you out of here and get you to a hospital. I'll carry you if I have to. Zed opened his eyes in weakness and said in a raspy voice, "Ben, get Brian and leave me here. I will hold them off while you three escape." "No, I won't leave you behind. You helped me, now I'm helping you," Ben screamed frantically. "There is nothing you can do for me but to get help out. Okay. There is no reason to save me," Zed told Ben. "Now get Brian and get out of here." Zed stood up with all of his strength and walked down the mob to fight them. Carl and Ben ran to Brian and shoved back two of the attackers. They grabbed Brian by the arms and ran as fast as they could out the door. While he ran to the door, Ben looked back as he saw Zed throw his final punch and fall to the floor. While following Brian and Zed frantically, Ben slowly shut the door. "Everyone okay?" Jennifer asked as she ran to Carl. "Yeah, I think so," Carl replied. Emily saw Brian crying and walked up to him and said, "I'm sorry about Zed. He was my friend too, but we couldn't help him." And I didn't put the right two, and I put T-O instead of T-O-O. Emily pulled Brian close to her and she held him in her arms. As Ben turned, he saw everyone had made it out. Ben looked back at the institution and had begun to fall to his knees. But before he reached the ground, Brian caught him and lifted him back up. In a childish voice, Brian told Ben, "No, now don't you worry. He's in heaven now." Ben looked up at Brian and smiled. The end. Yeah, that was one of my short stories from back in the day. Like I said, a lot of errors. A lot of gaps. A lot of tell not show, which is, like I said, that was before I learned a lot about writing. But if you want to write a story, you know, that could possibly be an outline. That's more of an outline than an actual full-on story. But yeah, I think that would, you know, if I wanted to turn that into something, I'd have to do at least a lot, like months worth of work to that. But anyways, that was an example of stuff I used to write. Like I said, it's not that great. I mean, even I know it's not that great, but like I said, it has a little potential. But I just want to say thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a great week. It's a beautiful Monday. If you haven't bought my book, Zed's Rising, the link is below, along with my accounts on Facebook and Tumblr and Twitter. You can follow me if you want. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. And after this, I'm going to post, you know, just tiny little clips of my weekend on set. It's not going to reveal anything. It's just you know, a couple of pictures, maybe stuff like that. But I'm not going to show. I'm not going to have any spoilers in there because I'm not allowed to. It's just mostly selfies and me out in the parking lot, of course. So I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll be posting videos on Mondays, and I'm trying to keep a schedule, and today's Monday. Woohoo! So you guys have a good work day. I took the day off, and have a good one. See you guys. You can tell from that, you know, short story, I wasn't always a good writer. But, you know, I have an imagination, and that's where it starts. An imagination that can take you to places beyond this world. I mean, it is just amazing what your mind can come up with, and you have the ability to put that on paper. And, of course, the mistakes I made with that one was, you know, I didn't edit it, I didn't outline it, even though from what I read, that would actually be an okay outline of a story, not an actual story. So, I mean, even if you don't think that you have the ability to write a story now, I mean, just from that example that I just read to you guys, it's, you know, there's always room for improvement, no matter what. If you have an idea, put it on paper and just roll with it, and then you perfect it as you go along. Like I said, that was not, you know, a big paper. It wasn't published. That was just something I wrote in my own time. I'm pretty sure like 14 years ago. Long before I even considered a career in writing, and long before I even tried to learn writing etiquette. So, like I said, just having an imagination can get you places. Like I said, I've got my first book published. It's amazing. And, of course, it sounds a lot better than that short story. But, you know, maybe down in the future I might take that nice little short story and turn it into something. Because, like I said, it's a decent idea to me. And, you know, it's got it's got a plot, a climax. Well, not much of a climax, but you know, there's a little potential there. So just because, if you're like doubting yourself on your writing because you know the story don't sound that great, or you just like I suck at writing, I mean, just listen to that little part of this video. I mean, like I said, my writing was not good. It wasn't horrible, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. It's like an in-between, like, you know, it's okay. That's what you would call it, an okay story. But like I said, it can be provided more of an outline than an actual story. So if you have an imagination and you want to put something on paper, go for it. Because that's where it starts. Have confidence in yourself. Taking me a nice little 5-minute break here on the set. It is now, let's see what time it is, 12:35. Been here since 9:15, so that's not too bad. Yesterday, we done the first shoot of episode 2. I was on set from 4 p.m. to 2 a.m. and had to get right back up at 7:45 this morning to come here. It's awesome. But yeah, I can't show you the set because I'm not allowed, but pretty cool. I just figured I'd kind of do a little update at the moment. And you know this whole video is going to be kind of in collaborations together, so I will, you know, get some more going. Hey everybody, I had to cut my time short on set this weekend because my kids got sick, so I'm headed in now. But from what I've done, it was pretty cool. I loved it. It was a great couple days. Today was the last day. I just wasn't able to get up there because I got to get home. About an hour and a half away from where I live. So that's why I'm heading home now. That way I can be closer to my kids. But I didn't get to stop till I worked about 11 and a half hours yesterday on set, and it is now 10:30, so I am headed in, and it's supposed to storm pretty good today, and I just want to give you guys an update on what's going